wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get in some front page news. Now, Morgan is on vacation. Mimi Brown is filling in. Good morning, Mimi.
Good morning, Jess. Good morning, NV. Charlamagne, how y'all doing?
Peace, Mimi.
Good.
Good. Okay, so much to continue talking about with the UnitedHealthcare CEO and that assassination on a Midtown Manhattan street. So today marks 1 week since that happened. The suspected killer, Luigi Mangiani, now he remains in custody in Pennsylvania, where his lawyer, Tom Dickey, says Mangiani will fight extradition to New York and plans to plead not guilty. Now, during a press conference in Altoona, Pennsylvania, Dickey questioned the evidence linking his client to the case. Let's hear what he had to say.
Listen, I haven't seen any evidence that says that he's the shooter. So that's, like I said earlier, and I wasn't kidding around. A couple of things. If you're going to report something, report accurately. And remember, and this is not just a small thing, the fundamental concept of American justice is a presumption of innocence, and until you're proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. And I've seen zero evidence at this point.
Do you think they would pick up this random guy for a case like this?
That had the same type of gun, the same type of a bunch of everything that the guy allegedly had in the city? That's I don't know. But I mean, that's his lawyer. That's what his lawyer's supposed to do, though.
And what was he screaming before he went into the courtroom yesterday? Mimi?
Yeah, we have that sound too, and to your point, MB, they picked him up with a handwritten admission about the crime. Now that's according to the arrest warrant. And so as you mentioned, Charlotte, they did catch up with him as he arrived for his arraignment, where he was heard shouting to reporters. Let's listen to what he was saying.
As a completely out of touch and an insult to the intelligence of the American people and the lived experience.
He sounds guilty to me.
Yes.
I mean, because I'd be yelling, it's not me. It wasn't me. I didn't do it. I don't know what the hell he was saying. He was trying to sound like he was reading script.
So he said it is completely out of touch and is an insult to the intelligence of the American people and their lived experience. Now, what that means, I don't know, but that's what he was yelling as he was going into that courtroom. And I think people are still trying to figure out what a motive is, like why this happened. And authorities, they said that they're looking into his background, but what they are learning more about are his medical issues. So according to his former landlord, so he lived in Hawaii for a little bit, and his landlord is saying that he suffered from chronic back problems so badly that he wasn't able to date and he was not able to be intimate. The landlord said that he confided in him and told him these things, and that he suffered from some sort of pinched nerve and misaligned spine. And so authorities are trying to see what's going on with that. Perhaps, they said that he had a lot of surgeries behind his back and he had a lot of health problems. He wasn't on speaking terms with his family at the time. And so at some point, he may have just become really upset with the healthcare system. And so they're still continuing to investigate and see what that looks like.
Yeah,
but we do know. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
They said they believe he got into an accident surfing. They said he was taking surfing lessons, and I guess something went wrong, and he has screws in his neck, and they said they have the pictures, I think, online of the screws actually in his shoulder and his neck. So
I'm also very confused because if the lawyer is saying he's not guilty, we probably won't get a motive no time soon because this guy's not going to talk. He's going to be
he's not talking,
moving like he
they're going off his manifesto. Yeah, he's not talking.
Absolutely. So we'll continue to watch that. Right now, he's still ordered held without bail, and he faces a second-degree murder charge in New York. So
this is why vigilante justice is so stupid, though, because you got one man dead. Now his kids who don't have a father. This guy's probably going to spend the rest of his life in jail, and the healthcare system in America will still be denying people's claims today. So what got accomplished?
Nothing. Nothing at all.
Yeah. All right, so moving right along, New York Attorney General Letitia James is refusing to drop the civil fraud case against President-elect Donald Trump. She argues that presidents are not immune from civil litigation and is waiting for an appeals court decision. Now, Trump was found guilty of inflating property values to secure better loans, and he was ordered to pay $454 million in fines. Now, with ongoing interest, that judgment is now more like $485 million. So Trump's lawyer is requesting that James drop the suit voluntarily for the sake of national unity. But James, she's rejecting that and says that Trump can still pay the state of New York and it will not interfere with his presidential duties. So they're seeing what's going on with that. But in addition to that, right, so that's not the only massive financial judgment that Trump is facing. The New York federal juries, they also determined that he should pay advice columnist E. Jean Carroll a total of $88.3 million for sexually abusing and defaming her. He's denied that, but that is also a judgment against him as well.
Good luck. Nothing's gonna happen to Trump. Trump ain't gonna spend one red penny. I don't see it. I don't see it.
Yeah.
Nope.
All right, well, that's where we are. Coming up, the man who went viral for leaping over a Vegas judge. Y'all remember that video? Well,
Yep.
he is learning his fate.
All right.
Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get back in some front page news. What's up, Mimi?
Hey, what's up, y'all? Okay, so we've been speaking all week about Daniel Penny, and now the Marine veteran is speaking out for the first time since his high-profile acquittal. Now, Penny was charged with manslaughter and negligent homicide last year and a chokehold death against Jordan Neely, and that happened on a New York City subway train. Now, the jury, of course, we told you about this, found Penny not guilty of negligent homicide, and he was acquitted of that top charge of manslaughter, and now he's talking about the case on Fox News. Let's hear what he had to say.
The guilt I would have felt if someone did get hurt, if he did do what he was threatening to do, would never be able to live with myself. I'll take 1 million court appearances and people calling me names and people hating me just to keep one of those people from getting hurt.
So what did they say it was? Self-defense? They said he was protecting people? Like I don't. What was it?
Well, you know, the jury was deadlocked on the first charge of manslaughter, and they acquitted him of the negligent homicide. So he just kind of walked, and then that's why people are so upset, because they're saying, you know, that's
vigilante justice.
Yes, and they're upset because he didn't. That's all he did was he kind of did a Kyle Rittenhouse, right? He didn't do anything, and he killed him.
Did Jordan Neely have a weapon or anything? He didn't assault nobody, no nothing, just...
Oh, you mean Neely?
Yeah, I mean, I'm saying, why did David even do what he did to begin with?
He was threatening folks on the subway. So
Yes.
he was threatening him, and so this man felt like he had to jump in and save them. But people are arguing that he could have went to another car. He could have called for help. He could have held him until no one came. You know, there were so many things that he could have did. He didn't have to kill him.
Yeah, I mean, to choke somebody for 6 minutes long, and they say people were yelling, yo, get off of him now. Now's enough's enough. Like, he can't breathe. I mean, so he was, he was aware that the guy was damn near lifeless. So, I mean, the fact that he helped people, yeah, I commend him for that. But choking him for 6 minutes and the guy is dying and everybody's saying get off of him and he does it, that's where it gets a little tricky.
Yeah, his intent shouldn't have been to kill him. It should have just been to restrain him if he thought he was a threat.
Correct. Especially if he had no weapon.
And did help come?
There was no help. I think that people were just in shock. And then, you know, once it was over, people were like, oh, my goodness, you killed him. And so he was charged with homicide. That's why he went to trial. He was charged with homicide. So right now he's been acquitted of the entire thing. The case has been dropped. But he does still face a civil lawsuit from Jordan Neely's family. And so that's kind of where it is right now.
We're definitely sending healing energy to the family of Jordan Neely. I mean,
Yeah,
when
for
it comes to David Penny, Daniel Penny, I don't know what I would do in that situation. I don't know what anybody could do in that situation. It feels like he did too much, but I don't know.
Yeah. And so do y'all remember that video of the man who the man who did leap over when he was being sentenced in Las Vegas? Yes. So that viral video. Okay. So the man who was trying to attack and basically kill, because he was tried for attempted murder, kill a judge after jumping over the bench, became a viral video. He was sentenced to 26 to 65 years in prison.
What did he think was going to happen?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, yes. So the judge in that case, prosecutor said that he did a Superman-style leap over the bench. He tackled her. He pulled her hair while screaming obscenities. The judge was hurt. A marshal was hurt. A police officer was hurt in the attack. But the sentencing this time around went a lot more smoother. He was surrounded by court marshals, correctional officers, and he did not attack this judge, Judge Susan Johnson, after she announced that he was going to serve decades behind bars. But he did have something to say, and this is what he said.
I'm not an evil guy, and I just keep going after me. I see spirits, I hear voices. I've been going through this for over a decade now, really since 2012, you know? And I just feel attacked or just not safe since I was a little kid. And me growing up, I didn't know that I had these problems.
Don't play crazy now. Don't play crazy now.
Yo, he did all that cuffed. He was cuffed when he did all that. That's crazy.
You want to play crazy now? Now you see dead people.
When I was a kid,
okay.
This is what happened.
Since 2012,
That's what you always go with. This has been happening since I was a kid.
Okay.
Jesus.
Listen, he earned that.
But to be fair, he did have mental issues before he was diagnosed, I think, with schizophrenia. Before that happened, he said that he wasn't on his meds on that day, and that's why he kind of just blacked out. But he did say that before that, and his lawyer is saying that he was mentally ill, and the judge acknowledged him being mentally ill during that sentence, but said, you know, that is no excuse because he knew right from wrong.
Now, does that change things, right? Because he's on medication. He's schizophrenic.
That day.
He wasn't on his medication that day, and they could prove it. So he had a mental problem that day.
Yeah.
Should he still get 65 years?
That's crazy, though.
Well, I think anybody with a mental health issue should, they should be sending him to some type of treatment center so he can get, the proper psychological help that he needs. But he still got to do his time.
Yeah, come on, yo.
But if he didn't take his med and he wasn't in his right mind,
but
he didn't kill anybody. He Superman.
Yeah, but
65 years is a long time.
That's the problem with those type of people. Like, when you not in your right mind, why you don't ever do nothing nice? Why is always something crazy that you got to do when you're not in your right mind? You know what I'm saying? Like that. Like, he had enough sense to hop. Like, he cleared that like he was in Olympics. That's nothing touched his body.
But if he does the full time, he ain't getting out till he's 96.
Well, here's the thing: the judge was
long time with them voices.
The judge was absolutely going to send a message to him. But not just him, anyone else who may try something like that. That's
crazy.
That's what that was. That was a message. Don't play with us judges. That's exactly what that was.
But what about the voices in his head?
Well, hopefully he gets the help he needs while he's in prison.
Yeah.
Like, that's just the reality of the situation. Like, they call these places correctional centers. Hopefully they try to do some real correcting.
Yeah, he messed that judge up.
And and whose responsibility is it for him to take his meds? You're a grown-ass man. If you can sit in front of the courtroom like he did just now and explain all his issues, then you don't have no excuse to not take your medicine.
Yeah.
You know you got a problem. So you got to make sure you on your meds at all times, especially in a situation like that. If I was going to court that day, you think I'm not going to take my meds?
Yeah. About crimes that I've committed when I wasn't taking medicine.
To make sure I don't bug out, you don't think I'm going to take my meds?
Yeah.
That's it. He got a responsibility. He got to hold himself accountable.
Yep.
Yeah, and before he was only going to be sentenced to somewhere between 18 to 46 months for some sort of battery charge, and now he's got 26 to 60-something years.
He was only going to get 18 months?
Yeah.
He jumped on the
Something
judge.
like that.
I know, it was 65 years, the maximum.
He believed he can fly.
Obviously.
And the judge let him know. I'm telling you, this was just a message to him, but not just him. Anybody else who may try something like that. So if you're dealing with any mental health issues and you're in front of the judge and you think you may spaz out, make sure you take your meds.
Jesus.
And it was, and the reason wasn't it because of something that he didn't like that the judge said to him, right? That was it. That was So he was in his right mind a little bit. He ain't like what she said, and so he leaped over the desk or the counter.
And that is your front page news. I'm Mimi Brown. Follow me on social at Mimi Brown TV, and for more news coverage, follow the Black Information Network or download the free iHeartRadio app and visit BINnews.com.
Wake that ass up
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.